Hey y'all, today I am looking at Valentine's Day fabric for all of your quilting needs. Maybe you want to make a Valentine's Day jacket, something like that. Um, I really enjoy quilting and sewing myself, so I tend to think in that sort of direction. But I want to show you what's in the Cupid box this year. So this is the Fat Quarter Shop box for Valentine's Day, and I don't know what's in it, so it'll be a complete surprise to me, and I think it's going to be good. Okay, so I wanted to show you what I have that I think you might really enjoy for Valentine's Day projects. So in my store, and this will be loaded up within the next couple of days at the latest, this is a Super Snuggle fleece. All of these products are 100% cotton, and it just has some sweet pink and purple flowers. It is really soft. So that's something that you might be interested in. Okay, this one has some sparkle. I don't know if you can see that sparkling in the sun, but there are gold details on this one. I think this is really a special one. It's not too complicated, so it won't detract from any other patterns that you have, but I think it is a really special one, and strawberries are just so fun. Okay. Oh, and that is from South Korea, that one. Now, this is for the knitters and purlers among us. So it is a sheep print, and it's just so cute. It has a pink background, and you can see the sheep are knitting. So precious. So, if you wanted to quilt with this, you totally could. It's quilt quality. And yeah, I think you could do practically anything with it that you use cotton for. Okay, now to talk about things that are in the quilt shops. So the quilt shops are a little bit of a different quality because those ones are made specifically for quilting and for quilters. So I highly recommend that you check out your local quilt shop. I really enjoy going to the Quilty Shop and Cupcake Quilts. Those are my local ones, but check out what they've got, because here's something that I don't stock, but they'll probably have some of. Funny Valentine. So I think this is really precious. It has a little bit of a retro vibe to me, but it's just very, very cute. I like this I think is very classic, kind of a retro feel definitely for the polka dots, and maybe a little bit 50s, a little bit of a 50s look there. And this is just very whimsical. Mushrooms with eyes. It's just cute and fun. You could make that into a little bag. I probably will be making bags out of that. And I think this is really the showstopper of the collection. You have these cats, and I think it has a little bit of a minimalist look, but the details that they did share with us are just so endearing. And I love a Scotty dog. Who doesn't love a Scotty dog? So I thought this was very, very nice. You can see how it looks in the beautiful sunlight of the day. Okay. And even if you aren't in the whimsical category, if you don't love, mushrooms with eyes, which not everybody does, you might really like this, because this is a little bit more subdued, but it has all the preciousness of each one of these motifs put onto a stamp background. So it looks more classic, the collage of stamps is a very classic look, and it has the sweet little Scotty dogs, and of course the cats, the gray cats, maybe like a, I don't know, maybe like a Russian blue kind of cat. So that's fun. Okay, so that's a real showstopper this year, in my opinion. So this is the yardage. The Quilty Shop, which is my local shop, not sure what y'all's is, but the Quilty Shop did have quite a bit of yardage of this, but they did not have the mushrooms. They weren't feeling the super whimsical side of things, I guess, when they were ordering, which is okay. It's not for everybody. But there are pre-cuts of this. So this is a charm pack. It's your 5-inch squares. And you can see you get so much color and so much pattern for a pretty low price. Okay. So I also have some jelly rolls to show you what the jelly rolls will look like. If you want a little piece of every part of the collection, and I think it's fun just to sew the strips together. Like, don't even have to necessarily cut them. You can just zoom right through, just sew all the pieces together, quilt it, you got a quilt. It's gorgeous. Or you could do something more complex. Practically anybody will have a jelly roll pattern online. There are free ones, I believe, on the Fat Quarter Shop. So yeah, that's what this looks like with the plastic off. I was pretty excited when I found this pattern, so that's gonna be fun. And it has a lot of drama, which I think you need for a pattern bag. If you're going to make something, you know, like a pencil bag or a backpack, it's so nice to have something that draws the eye and has all of that drama that pulls you in and actually makes you want to use the product. So yeah, that's very exciting. Okay, so I also have this other pattern, other collection that I'm excited about that I think really could go more into spring. So this is Love Notes by Riley Blake, and it has the most precious little birds and bunnies. It's definitely got an even more retro vibe than Funny Valentine. So here is a jelly roll that has been opened up. You can see the bunny design here in this part. There's white, there's red. Very nice. I do really enjoy some of the vintage or retro styled products. I mean, how happy is that bunny? So happy. There's a motif of a bunny playing a violin in this. Oh, and there's a mouse playing the cymbals. And that just tickled me. So that's very nice. And here's what it looks like in a 5-inch stacker. So this is called a charm pack. And you can see all of those patterns are on the back too. So that's cool. All right, and I haven't opened this up or seen this in person yet, but this is Aunt Grace Loves You. And it is pretty much red and white. It has some touches of yellow and green. I will open it up here. All right, from Marcus Fabrics. Aunt Grace Loves You. There are 40 strips that are 2.5 inches wide. Oh, wow. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm getting fabric fuzz places. Totally worth it. Beautiful little florals. Again, a retro vibe. That's where it's at for Valentine's Day this year, I think. But we'll see what Fat Quarter Shop chose for the Cupid Box. A lot of hearts. Hearts and flowers. Classic. And it has a look of hand stitching on some of the patterns, which is nice when you can get the look of hand stitching without actually doing the hand stitching. This one, that's so precious. Okay. All right, so I'll definitely be enjoying that one. Okay, so a couple more things. So Egg and Friends by Ruby Star Company just came out, and I just thought that this could really work with a lot of different Valentine's Day collections. So this is it's just a little honey bear. You know how they have plastic or glass shaped jars for honey. I just thought it was so cute, and it would blend well. So the lid is a little bit of a pinkish purple. So I think it could go with a lot of things. Maybe not these particular collections, but some of the, I think this would work together. You've got honey bears and sheep. Perfect gift for anybody who knits. I think it also really goes with this flannel. That's fun. So this is a flannel and this is quilting cotton, but they are both 100% cotton. Okay, so your local quilt shop, anybody who stocks Ruby Star might have this. So Egg and Friends by Ruby Star Society. Okay. Then what else from, okay, Fat Quarter Shop also has this quilt kit. You can see I got into a little bit because I was excited to see, but this is a small quilt. So it's nice. You're not going to be working on it for a year. You can just do it and enjoy it, and then enjoy the product, because it is 28.5 by 37.5. So it's not going to be an overwhelmingly huge project. And I really like this fabric. So this is Letters to Cupid by Christopher Thompson. And I love these red fabrics that make up the cherries. So it looks like two cherries and a heart. So we've got that from Fat Quarter Shop, and I think that's gonna be really fun. Alrighty. So now I will open the Cupid box and we'll see what is in here. And then I'll show you some things that I've been stitching lately. Okay. Wow, okay. There is a seam roller. I was actually thinking the other day that it would be really nice to have one of these, and I don't have one. The Quick Press in Tea Rose. Take that out of the package. That is really nice. It's got a nice weight to it too. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Okay. All right, so we have Sew in Love by Danny Magstad. I may be mispronouncing that. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. So, we'll open this up and see this. This is not one that I'm familiar with. And it is a Riley Blake, so you know it's got to be high quality. Okay. I've been very happy with the quality of Riley Blake products over the years. Okay. I'm going to take this apart so you can see. Oh, precious roses. These beautiful roses. All right. Oh, looks like it's got a maker's section. So there's a rotary cutter, scissors. I think that's a sewing machine. Yeah, sewing machine. So there's that pattern. Oh, that's nice. Very classic. Some young roses on a red background. Oh, I like this. It's almost like if you did your hearts in cursive. There's a different colorway. Very nice. Okay. Oh, it looks like heart buttons. Boy, that takes me back. Okay. and a little plaid there. Okay, so let's find out more about this. So you are supposed to make and I am getting the finishing kit. You do have to buy the finishing kit separately for this project. It says it is a table runner. So this is going to be a table runner, this fabric that came with the box. And let's see, you also need to finish this project. Okay, so this is the 10-piece Full Heart Sew in Love Fat Quarter Bundle. Okay, so you've got 10 fat quarters that come with this. It also recommends that you buy 1 3/8 yards of background, that's mostly white, and a ½ yard of binding, that is red. Okay, you can see this fun table runner. I enjoy making that. So the final size of the table runner is going to be 22.5 inches by 62.5 inches. So not terribly huge for a quilt. It's nice to be able to do a smaller project, especially for those of us who like to do their own quilting and you don't have like a huge machine with a throat space like a foot wide. All right. Okay, they have cutting directions, which is so nice to have that in a pattern. Know the most efficient way to cut your fabric so that you won't waste anything. Okay, and so this is very reasonable and easy for, I think, really beginners to do if they want to. I think it's pretty self-explanatory as long as you can do snowballed corners. That's some people call them the easy triangle corners. Basically you have like a square that you put on the edge of a square and you sew the edge and then cut off the excess and then you flip it over, and that's how you do a lot of the triangles that are in the corners of things. That's how you do the triangle corners of some of this pattern. So it does involve that. I think that's probably the only thing that a very, very beginning sewist might have a little bit of trouble with if you've never done that before. But it's actually very, very easy, so I don't think that would keep you from doing the project. Okay. Oh, these pins are adorable. Oh, I like that. Oh, Bohin. That's a very good company. I very much like their needles. Okay, so they're heart pins. I'll use those, not just because they're cute, but you know it helps, right? Okay, and oh, I will definitely be using this too. It is a beautiful ruler. Cute Cuts by Riley Blake. Okay. It is a 6.5-inch trim it ruler, and you know it also helps you figure out where you want to line up your motif if you're going to be cutting something specific out. A lot of people call it fussy cutting, where you just get a little picture of what it is that you want. If you just want a little piece of something, like say if you want to have a piece of fabric that's lined up around these two birds, you could just line up in the middle and figure out what you want your dimensions to be. So it's really nice that it has those squares in the middle to help you figure out what size you want things to be. That's very useful, especially for people like myself who don't always want to follow a pattern. You know, you get an idea in your head and it's just like, I think I just want to check that out. See if that could be done. And usually the answer is yes. Okay, so now we have gotten the Cupid box done. That is going to be really fun and exciting. And then of course at the end you get an awesome little table runner. Okay, well, I would absolutely recommend this Cupid box because It's beautiful. You have so many functional items in here that are going to be probably used for a decade, I would guess. Seam roller, it's a good technology. Okay, so other things that I have been working on. So for those of you that stitch, that do knitting specifically, so I have this yarn. This is a yarn from the Noro company, and it is the a collection that comes in a hank. So you have to take the hank apart and then wind it. And so I did wind it into this shape, but this Noro product, I think I'm very happy with. It's mostly pink, but it has a lot of other colors with it, almost like a tweed. And I am doing a double stockinette stitch. I did a long tail cast on, and if you don't know what any of these terms mean, you can Google it, or find a book, and it'll probably be in there. Long tail cast on. So that's how I got my stitches onto my circular knitting needles. And then I am trying for the very first time doing a double stockinette stitch. So it makes your project look like it has a stockinette stitch on the front and the back at the same time. And I can't believe I didn't know about this years ago, because it does really help just keep things tidy, and you can see the edges aren't curling under. So you do one knit stitch and then you do one slip stitch. You just slip it onto your other needle as if you were going to purl, but you don't actually wrap any yarn. So that's really all you do over and over again. You just knit stitch and then slip stitch. Knit, slips, knit, slip. And that's all you do on both sides. So yeah, that's fun. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to share with you. Now, I wish somebody were selling this right now. I don't know who might be selling it, because it is a little bit of an older project. But I love it so much because it's so cute and Valentine's Day-ish. So I bought this at Chandray. I believe that's Chandrail. That's probably it. Anyway, they're here in the Houston area, and I bought this. Now, I might have bought the last one, but it is just so cute. Look at this landscape, and you've got a house in the center. So this is a cross stitch, but of course you could use this as an inspiration to make your own kind of needle point or cross stitch Valentine's Day landscape. Or this made me think you could take any pattern that you have for needlepoint or cross stitch and just substitute pink in for the green of the trees. Never occurred to me before I saw this, and it's just so precious. I love that it's like the entire forest has been decorated for Valentine's Day. So I thought that might be a fun little thing to share with you, an idea that, what if you just took an existing pattern and then just added more pink? That's all you got to do. Maybe it's a pattern you've used before, or maybe you want to make your own new design. Just, maybe recoloring it can make it Valentine's Day. So I've started on it, and you can see I've already been making it my own a little bit, because I made the door blue. I wanted to use this blue metallic thread. I actually don't recommend using that blue metallic thread because it was really hard to work with. But now that I'm seeing the sparkle in the sunshine, I'm thinking maybe it was worth it. It's a little bit harder to work with some of the metallic threads. that you can get out there, but this is very fun. Okay, so I hope that you've gotten some inspiration about what to do for crafting Valentine's Day. It's just the sweetest holiday. It doesn't put expectations on you, and it's just a time to celebrate the joy of love with family and friends. Y'all have a good one. Happy crafting.